talked about this, Matt, before we went on, and Kyle reiterated, no, Jimmy is our starter. If he was healthy enough today, he would have played, and we are going back to Jimmy after the bye week. You feel like that's the correct decision, or no, don't let me put words in your mouth. You're saying that he would have won today.
What?
Jimmy would have won today, right? That's what you feel like?
No, I mean, that's not what I said.
What did you say? Go ahead.
So, I mean, we talked about it ahead of the game. I thought that Jimmy might have scored more points.
Right.
But Kyle wouldn't have called the game that he called today if Jimmy was in. There's a difference there. I don't think that Kyle spoon-fed Trey Lance the way he would have spoon-fed Jimmy Garoppolo. So
fair.
They might have scored more points, but at the same time, the offense would have been a lot more predictable. I don't know. I'm not looking forward to these next 2 weeks of all these idiots online arguing this whole point. So
yeah. I thought it was funny. I saw David Lombardi tweet about how Kyle Shanahan is doing the smoke and mirrors offense with Trey Lance, and that can't keep up for long. And Vish kind of tweeted, it was just like, it's been a smoke and mirrors offense with Jimmy for years, and now all of a sudden you're saying this can't keep up with Trey. I didn't think it was as much of a smoke and mirrors. Trey can actually throw the ball deep, whereas Jimmy doesn't or can't.
There was no smoke and mirrors. Everybody knew exactly what was going to happen. Trey Lance was either going to throw the ball or they were going to do a design quarterback run, or you know what I mean? Like, it's not smoke and mirrors. What Jimmy does is smoke and mirrors, where Kyle schemes the receivers open or whatever. This was just, RPO. Everybody knows what RPO is. It's not like it's a secret. It's not, in empty sets, it's like, all right, he's going to either throw the ball or he's going to run the ball. And all you have to do is watch Trey Lance immediately after the snap. It's not like he was delaying his run. It's not like he was doing quarterback draws or anything. It's just, you knew it was coming. This was honestly a terribly called game. I think this is one of the worst games I've ever seen Kyle call. It was pretty awful. Just there were, he did a lot of gimmicky shit, but it wasn't in a way that you would want it to be gimmicky, Again, all those fourth down plays and the way that they drew them up, and they just weren't good. They just were not good. And it's no wonder that their only fourth down play that was converted was on a pass.
It was very unfortunate. We're constantly saying, even in our group chat, like, what is he doing? What's Kyle thinking? It didn't shape out that way. And still, I think it was kind of crazy that they were still in a position to win this game for the majority of the game. You talked about Norman. He wasn't great. Kirkpatrick, obviously. But overall, I was actually surprised with how the defense kept the offense in the game, kept the team, not just the offense, in the game. Whether it's Kyler Murray and the Cardinals' inability to keep drives moving, or maybe the defense did just step up. Regardless, the 49ers were in a position to where they should have gotten some points, and they simply just didn't. And that's kind of where it came down to. Were you surprised? Because a lot of people were saying, why isn't he kicking these field goals? I was thinking maybe the new kicker, he doesn't trust him. What do you think the reasoning was for not kicking the field goals?
No, it was just, let's see what Trey does in these situations. And some of those calls were, I don't necessarily disagree with the fourth down calls where they were at or whatever. My problem is what was called on fourth down. And that's the issue, is that there was no real trust of let Trey make a decision. It was, we're either going to use his athleticism or we're going to call some stupid gimmick that doesn't really work. Yeah. Everything with Trey Lance on his designed runs was between the tackles. There was no boot outs. There was no play action to get him on the edge. There was none of that stuff. And it just, it wasn't good. And I mean, credit to the defensive line of the Cardinals who pushed back the 49ers offensive line all day. McGlinchey with another embarrassing performance. It wasn't good. It wasn't good. They made baffling decisions too. Steve saying they needed to play Lenore more. I agree, man. Josh Norman got cooked today. Whether it was, he was either committing penalties or he was getting, roasted up. And you can't tell me that. I mean, he got the fumble recovery, but man, Dante Johnson sucks. You cannot tell me, as bad as Ambry Thomas has been, that he's worse than Dante Johnson. Yeah. I refuse to believe that. Dante Johnson sucks. He stinks. So it was a bad game all the way around, I think. But I would just caution people because everybody's going at it already. I wanted to put something out before the game, like, As soon as he throws one bad throw, everybody's going to be like, see, he's not ready. Here, bring Jimmy back.
Yeah.
Can we finally get past the point where we sit here and say that this is a Super Bowl roster? It's not.
Yeah.
It's not. And I said this earlier, but nobody wanted to believe me. I said the Cardinals were going to win today. Nobody wanted to believe me. I said Trey Lance was going to be raw. Nobody wanted to believe me. Are you listening now? Are you paying attention now? This is not a Super Bowl roster. This team is going to be lucky if it makes the playoffs. Kyle is going to do the dumb thing after the bye and put Jimmy Garoppolo back in at quarterback. And for what? To let Trey Lance sit there and wither on the bench and not get ready for another week? Yes, Trey Lance was raw. Did Trey Lance make bad throws? Yes, he made bad throws. But he also made throws that Jimmy could never even dream of making. So if you want to worry about the future beyond this year, beyond 49er fans and their own short-sighted vision, then you need to play Trey Lance. Because if you're going back to Jimmy Garoppolo, or you're saying that Trey Lance is a bust, or you're pissed off about what happened today beyond, seeing the flaws in other areas where the team should have bolstered the roster, and you're blaming this on Trey, you're not paying attention. And you need to get your head out of your ass, sit down, shut up, and let Trey Lance develop. Because I'm tired of the quarterback debate. There is no debate anymore. This is not a win now roster. So put Trey in there and let him develop rather than letting him waste away on the bench. I'm done.